Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. So tonight I'm going to show you how to replace spark plugs within your E46 3 Series non-M3 with the engine codes M52TU, M54, and the M56 series engine. So let's get right into it. We're going to begin by removing the cabin air filter tray. So we're going to undo these harnesses first by unsnapping this cover. Once this piece is off, you can pop out your harnesses here. And I like to also remove this main power wire here for the jump point. So to get access to that, we just hit this little tab here and open up the little cover for it. And this will be a 19 millimeter. Now be careful, this is a hot wire. So I'll show you where I place this with or without battery connected. Okay, once the nut is removed, I like to reroute this cable and put it into one of the seals here for the hood. This is going to help insulate the end of that so it cannot possibly arc off anything. So we're now safe. Now we need to remove the cover for the filter itself. We have these half-turn quick snaps here. Twist them half a turn, they pop right up just like that. There's going to be 3 of them. Then the cover comes right off. Then your filter will come out. And then we're going to have 4 T30 bolts here across the cabin tray. Once they're all loose, they will actually retain themselves in the tray. And you pull the tray out. Now we're going to remove this vanity cover, which covers the ignition coils. Going to remove the oil cap. Then pop off these little covers here with a flathead screwdriver. That is going to expose the 10 millimeter nuts which hold the cover down. Then the cover can pull right off. Once the vanity cover is removed, we now have access to our ignition coils here. There's 2 types of E46. You have the bolt-down style coil. You also have a pencil style push-down coil, which I'm going to showcase that here in a second. This style, the bolt-downs, are retained by 2 10 millimeter bolts. We also have the harnessing here for the coils. This little metal clasp simply pulls straight up. We remove that by using a flathead screwdriver or a pry bar. It will stay on the coil. You're just trying to pry it up, which in return releases the harness off the coil pack, just like that. And here is the pencil style coil. How to release this is you come to the top clasp here, you simply swing it open and it will force the harness off. So you're going to open it like that, then you'll watch the harness pull itself off, grab it, pop it. Then there's a hole here for you to grab or stick a tool in it and wiggle and pull it out of the cylinder head. That's how those ones come out. Once you have all the ignition coils unbolted and free, they simply pull right out. They may be a struggle sometimes if they were in here for a while, but these ones should come out fairly easily. Like that. Now we have access to the spark plugs down the cylinder head. We're going to extract them with a typical 5/8 spark plug socket that has the rubber holder on the inside to pull them out. If you don't have one of these sockets, you can use a magnet, or you can also use the coil itself to pull it out. Ratchet off. Yeah. And there is cylinder 1 spark plug. And there's cylinder number 2. If you notice oil on your spark plug, whether it be up here or among the threads or the head here, That typically indicates a leaking valve cover gasket. You obviously have your outer gasket. You also have these inner gaskets, which seal the spark plug wells. So if you have oil like that on your spark plug, typically the gasket is leaking. So that's something to look out for while you're doing this service. When it comes to the new spark plugs for these engines, I like to run NGK BKR6E, part number 6962. They are a copper plug, but they burn excellent. They last a good little while. They're not going to last as long as the typical platinum, double platinum, or iridium spark plug, but I ran these for years, have no issues, so they're great plugs. And also, I highly advise against ordering these online because there are loads of counterfeit NGK and BMW spark plugs online, so highly recommend you just buy them from a reputable in-person store, AutoZone, Napa Advanced. Once again, do not buy spark plugs online because there are loads of fakes, and they're actually very hard to tell apart from counterfeit to real. They do a good job at hiding it, but yep, just buy them in person. Be sure you're getting real ones. Also, I like to gap these spark plugs to 32 thousandths. We're now going to install the spark plugs, reverse procedure, placing them in the spark plug socket. Now, whenever it comes to tightening these spark plugs, I always see them loose. For two reasons, I'm assuming. Where's your vanity cover at? Reason number one being of the name, BMW. People get nervous. They don't want to ruin anything. Reason number two why they're always loose is, whenever you're tightening these spark plugs down, you must compress this spark plug seal, see it, a lot. It's going to feel like you're stripping out the cylinder head, but you're realistically not. It's going to feel odd while you're crushing that seal there, but rest assured, that's all it is. You're just crushing that. I like to torque these to around 18 foot-pounds, but once you get this gasket totally crushed, a simple cinch after that is more than enough. That's all I typically do. Once again, we're torquing these to 18 foot-pounds. The key is, once you feel getting tight, to slow down and just to evenly put force into it. You don't want to over-tighten them or anything like that. And there it was, 18 foot-pounds. So as far as reassembly, it's just all reverse procedure. This is the last component until we put the tray back on. So fairly simple process, changing your spark plugs. When it comes to the proper spark plug burn, here's a used spark plug from this engine. As you can see, the center electrode appears to be like a toasted marshmallow. That is what you want. That tells me this engine is running optimally. So yeah, there we go. Okay guys, that's all for today's video. If you found the following footage to be useful for you, feel free to subscribe to my channel, as I highly appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one.